is Danko Resiliente, and today I'm going to show you how to make a breaded chicken breast sandwich because I'm home alone and I'm hungry. Okay, this is about a 1/4 pound breast, and I put it inside of a bag, alright? So I did this because I'm going to be doing a little bit of hand processing to it. So, the first thing you do when it's inside of a bag is you season it. There's no good reason for no seasoning. Alright, so this right here is just a small mixture, very small mixture, and this is paprika, peppers, all the stuff that I like on it. All that you really need is just salt and pepper. You don't need to overdo it. You know, you don't want to season your food so much that you cover up the taste of your food. Because a lot of people, they get so nervous that it won't be good, they just put anything they can find on it. Alright, so that's in there. Okay, now I want to fill this up. I want to squeeze as much air as I can out of it. That way my bag doesn't pop while I'm doing my process. Now I want to beat it. I want to beat it up. You can use a meat cleaver, not cleaver, but a little meat hammer or whatever. I never learned a term for that thing because I never had one. But I'll just beat it with my fist. Alright, and you can see it flattening down, right? The other thing is, if you look at it and see how I'm flattening it, you see how big it's getting. It's almost 50% of its size extra since I've been bamming on it, okay? That kind of gives you an idea of the profit margin for any place that makes chicken sandwiches. Because we could easily take this and cut it in two, and there'll be basically 2 chicken sandwiches. And then if you replace that charges of $5 for a chicken sandwich, this is basically, this whole piece is probably about 15 or 10% of a whole, no, a half of a chicken breast, a split chicken breast, I'll put it that way. So about 5% of a whole one. So it's not much meat there, it just looks big because it's spread out. But it's not just spread it out, it's also just to flatten it out a little bit because it's, you can slice it in little, thin slices or put it on the sandwich. Most people use it on the sandwich. It's also to make it a little bit more tender and more porous, so it kind of sucks in any kind of breading that you put on it easier. Alright, so since I'm only doing one breast, I have my egg whites here. It's 1 egg white, and that's it. It's not 2. Now, I would have used the whole egg, but I'm only making 1 piece of meat, so I didn't want to overdo it, and I didn't want to have too much breading or flake on my fillet. That's in there. Some people call this an egg wash, but it's just egg and that's it. Egg wash, I think it has water, or some people use milk or whatever. It's kind of exactly what it sounds like, an egg wash. You wash in the egg, and what this does is it helps the breading bond to it. And then, if you ever made homemade biscuits, that's kind of what the crust that you find on fast food chicken, fried chicken is like. It's basically a batter that you're eating. You know what I mean? It's kind of like I'm not going to say the restaurant's name, but the major fried chicken joints, they use, egg or whatever like that, any kind of batter, and it basically makes a biscuit that you fry around this piece of chicken. So when you have a chicken leg and you're like biting on it and all that crust and crumbs and everything on there, it's basically, I want to call it breading. That's why they call it breading, because it's basically bread around a piece of meat. Alright, so we got that, right? So set it to the side, and I want to hit out a little sheet pan here. And we're going to put this in the flour. Okay, my flour has basically the same sprinkle that I put on my breast. And that's because but not as much though. It's not as much. It's barely, just enough sprinkle to make it not look plain. Alright, and I'm gonna go down with the smooth side first. So the rougher side is up on top. Lay that there. If you ever cook pork chops, it's kind of the same process. Except we got, a breast. Alright, I'm gonna rock it on this side. And you're gonna do this a couple of times. You see, some people will take this and double dip it, but I'm not having that much. I don't want that much breading on mine. I mean, it's cool and all, but you know, it's just not me. I don't like all that crunch. Especially if I'm making a sandwich, it's like eating the sandwich inside of the sandwich. Too much bread. Alright, what I do is I let this sit for a minute. You know, let this sit. You know, the flour will basically bind with the egg and give you a little crust. Alright, I'm not a big deep fryer unless it's wings. When I do my breads, I don't use that much oil. And that's my my wok. I like to cook everything in the wok. Anything I can, I put cooking inside the wok. Why? It's just my comfort zone. Alright, so before I turn the camera on, I took a very small pinch of flour and tossed it in there so it sizzles. Alright, you can also use a wooden spoon handle, you know, dip in there and see if it sizzles, you know, see if it bubbles and whatnot. And that's how you know your grease is ready. I have a laser thermometer, but I don't feel like using it right now. And cooking is science. You know, that's all cooking is. So don't get nervous about it. It's not a big deal. The less deal you make of it, the better you'll cook. When you simplify it, the reason why so many men like us are good cooks is because we know how to make what we like. And a lot of us are good in science. That's why Alton Brown is one of my favorite chefs, because he knows science. Alright, and if you kind of peep at it, you can see that's starting to brown a little bit at the bottom. Since there's so much space for me to view it, because of my wok, I'm able to see that. Now I'm cooking this on a medium-low. If you're a fast cooker, you will learn because it's going to burn. Come on, get in there now. There we go. It's going to get another flip here in a second. And that's all that is, man. You're going to cook it on both sides, flip it twice, and everything's going to be nice. So, after about 12 minutes all together, here we have my chicken patties. Now, I'm going to set this to the side because I have other stuff to do. It's going to welcome my patty. And that's going to go with, we'll start with, my veggies. I want veggies on it. Who doesn't like veggies? Alright, and if you see my board, you see little burn marks in it because that's me. That's what I like to do because I'm dope. So, jalapeno's on it. You hear that crackling? Yeah. Like fireworks, man. That's what happens to your tongue when the pepper's in it. The one's a good one. But yeah, I like to fry it, man. I like to torch it, and I like to heat that wax up and burn the wax off. You know, a lot of people, they'll peel the skin off. You know, but once I fry it, man, feel like that there. I just end up keeping it like that because I like a little burn shards in it or whatever. Just a little bit of onion. You know, kind of torch the onion a little bit, you know, get a little bit of a tinge on there. You know, I know a lot of you don't like onions because your taste buds aren't adult yet. But it's cool, you know, you can leave those out if you want. Woo, now we're going to cut this baby up because this is how I'm going to put it on there too, yeah. Alright, so, I'm not done yet. I like cheese on mine. And for this, we're going to use pepper jack cheese. As you can tell, I like spicy stuff. So this is going to be spicy. Alright, now, I don't like it gooey. And you and just completely covered in a lot of cheese because it makes it kind of unpleasant to me. So it's just going to be a couple of little small pieces here, thin pieces. And a lot of people, most people, especially, you should put your cheese on your chicken patty while it's still extremely hot, fresh out the grease, or it melts fast. All right, right now I have my patty in the oven on warm because the oven, has a warm. I'm gonna move this over and get back to the breast. All right, so we're gonna slap the cheese on there like that. All right, this is something that don't take very long to cook. I'm just gonna bite that tip off here anyway. So my pepper's on there. Sometimes I shake the seeds out, sometimes I don't. I don't have the same problems that a lot of people have, after digesting or attempting to digest seeds. So I'm gonna slap it on there like that. I'm gonna also put my onion there too. And you can see why I like to have my little scorched jalapeno skin on there. Alright, so now we're going to torchy taco this. I shouldn't have said this. So now we're going to torchy this. So I guess I'll be naming this chicken sandwich the torched chicken sandwich, I guess. Something like that. As long as we put Danko on the front. I'll call this the torched dankwich. The torched chicken dankwich. Now, why do I like to torch my cheese? Because I'm dope. Alright, now I'm going to move on to the actual sandwich part. Currently, I'm cutting down on my carbs. Okay, so, to make it somewhat like a sandwich, I'm going to use flour tortillas that I chalupaed. I don't know if chalupa is a patented name or not, because I never really actually looked it up. So instead of bread, I'm using fried flour tortillas. I like big tomatoes. There's something about breaded chicken, fried chicken with tomatoes. I just love it. But hold on. Show you how I do my tomatoes. A little bit of Italian seasoning on top of that tomato, and it makes it a tomato. A little paprika on top of that, that makes it a Danko. And that's it. That's how I do mine. Oh, we gotta do a little cut open thing, right? Now, I'm gonna eat this. I don't feel like making any fries or anything like that. So, I'm gonna eat this, and I'm going to play the game. And it's that simple. The whole process, actually, it's about, I wanna say about 15 minutes altogether. I can make it a little faster depending on how hungry I am. So until next time, I'll probably cook up some soul food or something like that. Or if you go to my Instagram at Danko Resiliente, you'll see a lot of my Asian dishes because I cook all my Asian-inspired food from scratch, and then I renamed it because I did it. And you know why? Because I'm dope. See you next time.